In the last minute, an amendment was proposed by Liberal MP Paul Chiang to that handgun ban, C-21, that made it a ban on hunting and our hunting heritage in this country. The Liberals snuck in an amendment to C-21 that bans semi-automatic centerfire rifles and shotguns capable of holding a 5-round magazine. It ostensibly outlaws millions of rifles and shotguns used for hunting in this country.
A man who was convicted of second-degree murder had been released early and is now rearrested for 51 counts of trafficking firearms. Why won't they go after this criminal and others like him instead of targeting Grandpa Joe's hunting rifle in Cape Breton?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, Canadians are united around the need to see our communities safer. And most Canadians understand that that means eliminating the guns that are most dangerous. Those guns that are designed to kill the largest number of people in the shortest amount of time. That's why 2 years ago we moved forward with a ban on assault-style weapons. But we also know that we need to ensure that that ban stays in place. And that's why we're moving forward with a definition to define assault-style weapons.
And if you, like me, looked in your gun cabinet and said, hold up here, he said it wasn't a hunting ban, but my hunting guns are banned, Trudeau accused you of misinformation. Take a look.
On gun control in French, asking if we were going to revoke or pull back C-21. The answer is no. C-21 is part of our commitment to Canadians to move forward on strengthening gun control in smart, responsible ways. We have frozen the market on handguns. It's now impossible to buy or sell a handgun in this country. We've moved forward on a ban on assault-style weapon that's been in place for 2 years, and we're making sure with C-21 that assault weapons will never be legal again in this country. The issue that's come up for a lot of people, and I suspect Eric, who sent in the question, is that there's a lot of misinformation and disinformation from the Conservative Party and from the gun lobby about us going after hunting rifles and shotguns. The reality is we're focused on banning the most dangerous weapons, those assault-style weapons that were designed to kill the largest number of people as quickly and efficiently as possible.
But was it misinformation? It isn't, if you ask the experts. Here's the Canadian Coalition for Firearms Rights, Tracy Wilson, discussing the single largest gun ban in Canadian history, the hunting gun ban, which happened, again, at the last minute in an amendment to the previous single largest gun ban in Canadian history, the handgun ban. Look at this.
Over the last 7 years, crime and violence has skyrocketed under the Liberal NDP government, all while the Liberals increased gun control on licensed gun owners. And while they were at it, made life the easiest it's ever been on criminals. The Liberals have rolled out 3 gun bans in 3 years, while gang-related homicide has shot up 92%, basically doubled, along with a 32% rise in violent crime, all since the Liberals took office. Those same gun-owning Canadians need to ask what in the world is going on. The Liberals spent the first 3 years of their majority government pontificating about how government has no business classifying firearms and that it should be left to the experts at the RCMP lab. Then they engaged in precisely that behavior at a level we've never seen before in the history of our country, and take a good hard look at the mess that they've created. On top of that, they've yet again circumvented democracy and the usual parliamentary process by sneaking in Amendment G4 into C21, this late in the committee stage. After 2 votes in the House of Commons, after deliberation at SECU, after all the expert witnesses testified, excuse me, and after hearing from Indigenous leaders, nobody got to speak to this sweeping hunting gun ban amendment. This is a mockery of our legislative system and does nothing for public safety. Canada is a far more dangerous place to live, and we are more divided than ever. The Liberals and their enablers, the NDP and, of course, the Bloc, can credit themselves for this massive failure at keeping Canadians safe. And I will mention, not only making Canadians far less safe than ever in a modern Canada and wasting billions in tax resources, this coalition feels it virtuous to lay this disaster at the feet of licensed gun owners who are productive, law-abiding contributors to Canadian society since long before Confederation. So I would ask, what exactly have we done to deserve this? And how is this going to make Canada better? I'd ask all Canadians to dedicate a few minutes today to think about this.
Now, I'm pretty sure Justin Trudeau did not consult with the experts like the Canadian Coalition for Firearms Rights before he decided to arbitrarily ban almost every single hunting gun in this entire country, with the exception of basically a handful of duck shotguns. I know Trudeau did not talk to the National Firearms Association either. I know he didn't talk to the Canadian Shooting Sports Association either. And I know, based on the press release put out by the Fur Institute of Canada, that Justin Trudeau didn't talk to them either before he outlawed the tools of their trade. Indigenous groups are fuming mad. And now the NDP are mad because the Indigenous groups that they represent are mad. It's a mess. So who exactly did Justin Trudeau consult with before he snuck in a last-minute amendment to turn an already terrible law, which scapegoats the law-abiding while making it easier to be a bad guy, into some Frankenstein monster of a law that tramples on property rights and throws Canadian heritage right into the garbage? Somebody joked on Twitter once, and I wish I could remember who it was because I would love to give them credit. But imagine if a space alien who had never met a human being or had never seen a car was suddenly writing the rules of the road. That's how it feels to be a firearms owner in Canada. It's like people who have never used a firearm or who have never jumped through all the hoops to own a firearm or ever even examined the existing firearms laws or even had a basic passing familiarity with ballistics were writing the firearms laws, or at least they're the people being consulted on the laws.
That's an excerpt from my show every night. It's called the Ezra Levant Show. That's me, Ezra Levant. You can see the whole thing behind our paywall. Well, there's a lot of goodies behind there. I do a show every weeknight. My friends Sheila Gunn Reid and David Menzies and Nat and Kat have their shows too. You get a ton of content for just $8 a month. There's so much in there you won't find anywhere else. Go to rebelnewsplus.com.